a postulating match day against the Atlas Lioness of Morocco. The Super Falcons dominated like they always will, and they won again 3-2 in aggregate time. And it was a day to be remembered in the history of Nigeria. With this, David Bolarinwa welcomes you to Behind the News on The Nation TV. You know how we do it. I'm not here alone. I'm here with my in-house analyst, Mr. Adeyinka Aderibigbe. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. Good morning, Nigerians, and good morning from wherever you are watching this program all over the world. This is The Nation Television again, and we are happy we have you as one of our audience. Please keep it locked on for the meantime. We want to enjoy each other's company today.
All right. Yesterday, it was a presidential welcome to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who displayed resilience, displayed every bit of compactness against the Atlas Lioness of Morocco, where they dominated again. They won from coming back from 2-0 loss in the first half, and they dominated the second half and scored 3 goals, the first of a kind in African football, scoring 3 goals in one half to come back in what was deemed lost for the Super Falcons. First off, what were your emotions to start off with?
Well, it was a night. As a matter of fact, a lot of Nigerians had written the game off. And I want to believe that a lot of football buffs have also written the Super Falcons off. It was like it could never have happened. It was like for the first time in 10 consecutive sessions, the football community will see a change in the narration. But like it happened some time ago, and what has gone into football history as the miracle of Dama, when the junior Eagles surprised and shocked the world by coming from behind to clinch the game and to win the finals. Our women team also showed the stuff that only Nigeria in the history of global football has been able to prove that we are an uncommon nation.
Yeah?
You know, that we are a peculiar people, that we are made for signs and wonders. And indeed, that is what the game of football is teaching the world silently. That if you focus on the majors and leave the minors, you may perhaps get back the swing and get the groove back to your side, and then you get all the accolades again. That was proved by our female team, demonstrated resilience, demonstrated the can-do spirit, demonstrated that it's never finished until the final whistle is on or is blown. And that is actually what the Nigerian spirit is all about. So I'm not surprised that they won. You know, yes, you can say that that was one in several that has happened in recent history where we had recorded losses. But again, it also showed that if you continue over and over and over and over and over, they show the same kind of determination against anything that besets you. You are on your way back to the top. And that's where the destiny of Nigeria is all about.
Right, and thank you very much for that beautiful analysis from the game of yesterday, and of Saturday rather. And yesterday we saw a presidential welcome, one of which it's not in the recall of many memories of Nigerians, where the president of the country will welcome our footballers who have gone out and made the nation proud. And a number of things were announced yesterday. The president announced $100,000 per player, and that's ranging about over 150 million already per player. The Governors Forum also had a donation of, I think, 10 million per player. And the president get 3-bedroom flats per player. And also the technical staff also had $50,000 per each technical staff. And a number of gifts and accolades. Is this enough? I know we've done well. We've appreciated them. And not to forget, they also had national honors, I think OON, for each player who, did the nation proud. And they've done well. And one of the arguments of which the Super Falcons gave before the game was they were not being treated equal to their male counterparts. And you see this as a way forward, first off?
Well, the sentiments, whether they were treated equal with their male counterparts, will continue to be a subject of argument, and I don't think we should now major in the minor, especially at this point when Nigeria is now the talk of the global football community. We don't really need all of that. The fact is that these girls were able to demonstrate resilience. The fact is that they were able to demonstrate the can-do spirit, and the nation has given them a little of the gesture from which they could draw cash rewards, accommodation, even a national honor as the officer of the Order of Niger, which is something that I know many of them will not dream of ever achieving because of the peculiarity of background and other issues, and they are not even in politics. So they will have been excluded. Many Nigerians are excluded even from the national honors simply because of the nature of. But the fact remains that national honors are given to you when you do the uncommon.
Yes.
When you demonstrate statesmanship, when you demonstrate the can-do of the Nigerian spirit, and these are what the girls were able to achieve. Some school of thoughts were saying, no, don't let this be audio gifts. Let it be practicalized. Let it be that in a very short while, these things will get to the girls. Because we had instances where in the Second Republic, gifts were given. I'm talking of Second Republic of the late Alhaji Shehu Shagari. That was redeemed only in the 20th, in the early 2000s by this dispensation by a former president. Close to 35 years of owing these people their due. I believe that Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu will not sanction that. He has ruled out what he wanted, and what he has pronounced, I believe, will not be sacrificed on the altar of official bureaucracy. But that said, the fact remains that the win simply means that we must also again go back and begin to look at other areas of improvement, like you mentioned. Are there issues about treatment? Are there issues about how they could be treated better? Are there issues about their kitting and all that? All of this could be front-loaded going forward. The fact remains that for 10 consecutive times, Nigeria has dominated the women football. That is the 10th win for Nigeria. 10 straight win for Nigeria. That is a record in Nigeria in global football history. And that is a plus for Nigeria. It could only be Nigeria. That is why we are that peculiar people. That is why we are that resilient people. That is where we are made for signs and for wonders.
However, away from the Super Falcons, just a minute, we'll be back to them in a few. But last night I was at a tribute for our past unsung heroes, the likes of Obisia, the likes of Peter Rufai, the likes of Christian Choku, who unfortunately we lost them this year. Just within January and July, we lost about 5 legends in Nigerian sports. And one of the things many of our ex-internationals were clamoring for is national recognition. Let us even be identified that we've gone out to make Nigeria proud. We've done some things. I mean, the set of the 1996, the set of the 1970. Many of these guys have played their ass out, and if you see them now, you won't even be able to recognize that these guys were Nigerian forwards. They were players who put Nigeria on the front banner. They were players who restored the glory of Nigeria when it comes to sports. And do you see this as a way forward when it comes to recognitions? And is it a thing that you would urge the president, those in power, to continue to do? I mean, many of what have been done, the recognitions that have been done in the past have been from private pockets and private individuals who deem it fit to recognize these individuals.
The thing remains that, you see, in all that we do as human beings, we should not leave behind the place of enlightenment. We should not leave behind the place of what you can do for yourself. You see, there's nothing that the government can do other than to respond to the spur of the moment and shower you with whatever is available at that moment. But that is where it goes. You know, what you do with it from that point is entirely your private decisions. You know, so for some of them, they decided to go back to school. You have the likes of Alosi Amesimaka, who became a judge, you know, in the Nigerian environment. He went back to read law, got into the bench, and he retired as a judge. You know, you have Shegun Odegbami, who's also still very vibrant, very agile, you know. And then you have others who were soaked in the euphoria of the moment, who blew up all the chances they had, and today they are nowhere to be found. You know, there's something you call financial intelligence. It's not given a la carte. You know, if you are having it hot now, and everybody seems like you are the flagship of you know, you are the face of the moment, it's just going to last for that brief period. What you do thereafter is entirely your decisions, and you live by the responsibilities of those decisions. You have nobody to blame, you know, because what ought to be given had been given. They cannot, governments and the nation cannot continue to behold to you for the rest of the life that it is available. You know, it is you that must respond to, you know, if you have all the, like some of them that are international players getting all the monies today, if you decide to be blowing it on acquiring private jets, acquiring exotic vehicles, you come to realize that those things they are fleeting glories. You know, what you do are the enduring things you're able to put together, you know, when the grass is still green. Because eventually the grass will come to feel the pitch, you know, to feel the heat, and to become gray and dry and wither and go. You know, what you do in between is entirely your own. It's a sad thing, but the government can only respond to the spur of the moment, the glory of the moment, like you did just yesterday. That is the best that the government will go. You know, what you do, and that is why a lot of the times it is always said, okay, give them accommodation. At least that one they will know that that has been sorted. Whatever happens financially, they can begin to respond, you know. But the fact remains, a lot of the times, our people are so soaked up in the glory of the moment that they forget that there's always a tomorrow. That tomorrow is what really counts. You know, that tomorrow will determine where you will be placed and how your dependents will be able to respond to you. That decision cannot be given by any other person. You are the one that can respond to what you do with what you have. Like all this rain of money that is coming to these girls. And they ask some of them in the next 2 years, where were those monies? They won't be able to point to anything tangible they did with it. Because we kept it. But with it will come so many other big consuming subjects. And then they will just be spending as if it is inexhaustible. By the time it's exhausted, they come back to be blaming the same government that all of us have been blaming. So it's just a lesson for all of us that as it is in the game of football, so it is with life. You know, whatever you have is a function of your choices at the moment. Because yesterday is the mother of today. And today is going to be the mother of tomorrow. You know, so what your choice basket is a function of what you are reaping today. So what are you reaping now? You know, I believe that it's not late for as many of them that still have the opportunity to make the difference, you know. But for those who are now at the end of the baton and now receiving, you know, the result of bad choices, I believe that their contemporaries, as well as well-meaning members of the society, can rise up to them. And of course they are, in fairness. The case of Christian Chukwu, the headmaster, the chairman. There are instances when many of our big men, I don't need to mention names on camera, but I know that there were instances when high net worth philanthropists in Nigeria rose up to the occasion and assisted when it was very necessary. But you see, all of those are just interventions. Your choices determine how far you will go in the journey of life. A lot of them don't even have a second address. They need to, because that is what matters. You know, yes, football, yes, that, but then your body cannot go with the swing forever. So you need a second address in case it fails. What can you do to attract? Because money responds to problems you can solve. Yeah. And so if you cannot solve any problem, sorry, money will walk away from you. It's just as simple as that. Nobody can reverse that.
All right. Congratulations to the Super Falcons. They've done as well. And to each player, the max you play for is 20, 25, 30 years on the max. After that, you have your life to live. Whatever you do with that life is solely yours. And how you can effect changes in that life is solely a decision you have to make. Away from football, away from Super Falcons. Yesterday, in Ekiti, the ex-governors endorsed Governor Aiyedatiwa, endorsed Tinubu and Oyebanji. Sorry for mentioning Aiyedatiwa. He is late.
Aiyedatiwa is the governor of Ondo State.
Of Ondo State, rather. Now they've endorsed Tinubu and Oyebanji, and they also endorsed Aiyedatiwa himself. Ekiti's governors, the headline here says, Ekiti's governors Aiyedatiwa endorsed Tinubu Oyebanji. From the lead here is saying President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has secured the resounding backing of Ekiti State for re-election in 2027. In a parallel show of solidarity, Governor Oyebanji's ambition for a second term in office, also received a winning endorsement affirming a united front. They received the seals of approval during a massive rally in Ekiti, the state capital, yesterday. A lot of politicking has been going on across the 2027 election. A lot of defections have been seen, and a lot of endorsements also has been going on. Yesterday again, we saw a number of endorsements. First off, what's your take on the endorsement?
Well, the Ekiti election, the gubernatorial election that is on the card is one of the off-season elections on the INEC elections calendar. We have 3 states like that. We have Anambra with Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, former CBN governor, current governor of the state, who is seeking a re-election. You have that of Osun State, that is Adeleke Jackson Ademola Adeleke. Then you have Aiyedatiwa of Ekiti. Those are the 3 off-season elections that will be concluded March 2026, I think. This year we're having that of Anambra, I think around October or so, as well as Osun State. There are off-season elections that often define how the electoral culture will be in the main election itself, 2027. I mean, in this instance, 2027. They did in 2023, but it's the first time in Ekiti that we have the assembly of former governors coming in their numbers, irrespective of their political differences. Ayefayoshe was and is still in PDP. Adeniyi, former governor Adebayo Adeniyi was there, 2-term minister, statesman, same class with the present president as Governor Ekiti. You have Segun Oni, who's also at a point in PDP, not too sure he's in APC now, even though he has gone to see Mr. President once or twice. So, but it's the first time that all of them, we buried all their political differences, and come to formally and publicly endorse one of their class, who is the current governor of the state. And it's a function of how the current governor has positioned power and has positioned himself all through, even from the very beginning of his regime, irrespective of the position that this governor had taken before his emergence and before he was declared the winner. This man went to all the former governors one by one, in fact prostrating, as a matter of fact, using that literally, just to beg them to bury all the hatches they will have against the state and support him in pushing Ekiti forward. It was the archetypical Omoluabi that the Yorubas really celebrate. He projected that you can play politics without bitterness. He pushed for the Ekiti agenda to become the common denominator, you know. And so it was not too difficult for all of them to bury whatever differences they have and just support one that is showing that he has not gotten only the executive power, but that he can ride roughshod over everybody. I don't think it cost anybody anything just to show the other person the courtesies demanded and that is due for his office, because he has been there before. And that is what Governor Oyebanji has demonstrated. Over time, since he was declared the governor, he has demonstrated the fact that he needed the wisdom of these people to govern well. That he needed their support to govern well. That he needed them to help him rally the people behind his policies. And so they will drop all their political differences and come together. A Fayose will never want to see sit on the same chair with a Segun Oni. A Segun Oni will never want to sit on the same table with a Kayode Fayemi. All of them have issues, one against the other, all through. But under this man, all seem to bury their hatchets to say, let us support this one to succeed. After all, what they all wanted was for Ekiti to become a renowned state, to become a force to be reckoned with nationally. It is the fountain of knowledge. You know, it must be so seen that they do not just acquire their knowledge for acrimonious purposes, but for the purposes of cementing a greater and better and forward-looking and forward-building state. And so it is not out of place that you see one of them emerging as the Senate leader.
Yes.
You know, it is born out of all of these, you know, efforts to push a new narrative of the Ekiti as a citadel and as a state that promotes unity, that promotes oneness, that promotes egalitarianism and promotes forthrightness and academic excellence. You know, so for me, it is the way to go. It has shown that for once, it is trying to teach Nigeria how to play politics, and that politics could be played without attendant bitterness. You know, that you can drop all of your differences just for the greater good of your society, your state, or your nation. You know, and so I'm not surprised that he was endorsed. I'm not surprised also that the president, President Bola Tinubu, was also endorsed by the state. It just shows you that President Bola Tinubu have one of the southwest states in the Ekiti already. What he needs to work on are the remaining 5 from the southwest. Of course, Lagos is going nowhere. So he has 3 more to go. Of course, you can safely even assume that Ondo is part of the game plan. Well, give or take the way the political calculus is going, Osun has told us, support Tinubu, support Aderibigbe. So you are seeing that for the 2027, the president is assured of a block vote from his base. You know, meaning that all he needs is just the Northwest, which, you know, gave basis to the political permutations that is going on right now. Northwest, which is the basket, another basket of electoral fortunes. Then Northeast, then just make a coup of the North Central, fix the Southeast and South-South. Then you are good to go. So that is one of the things that can happen 2027, and Ekiti is showing the way about how politics could be played in a saner environment without any bloodshed, without any bitterness, without any acrimony.
All right, that's a good precedence there that Ekiti State is trying to show the country and the whole world at large. Politics can be run without violence. Politics can be run without discrepancies, as we may say. Away from politics and away from governance, TCN maintenance here in Telegraph newspaper, blackouts may push alternative energy to cost 2 trillion naira. It's Aderibigbe. A few days ago, the TCN came out to say they will be having a maintenance for about 25 days or so, and a part of Ikeja and some parts of Lagos and across Ogun State will be bothered with no electricity, especially during the daytime. And the TCN is coming out to say, the TCN and also the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria is coming out to say the parts in Ikeja where we would be experiencing blackouts are the industrial parts of the country and the industrial part of Lagos where they can't do without light. And so, what do you think about the blackouts for a start?
Well, I think it must be unavoidable, and that is why the TCN is coming out strongly to talk about it, to put all of us on notice. They talked about it affecting what they call Omotosho and the west of Lagos or something, which and the notice has been circulating since weekend, you know. Of course, when things like this happen, you see it having ripple effect, major ripple effect across board, especially as it affects the manufacturing sector. Don't forget, the manufacturing sector has almost been prostrate since the removal of subsidy, as everything has almost it's gone over double. You know, it's actually hitting the roof at the moment. A lot of them are leaving the country in droves. A lot more are shutting down, practically just shutting down, not wanting to just think of bothering about continuing the business. You know, after all, many of them, it's not about what to eat anymore. It's just to continue to service already laid system and structure that can just be making residual income for the family or for the society or for them, as it were. So that is, it's a major thing for TCN. It's a double tragedy for Nigeria, especially manufacturing concern, and that is why they are quickly letting us know the cost implication, you know, that may hit about 2 trillion, you know, within the 1-2 months that they are talking about the epileptic supply, because it's actually an epileptic supply, load shedding here, load shedding there, and all of that, while the turnaround maintenance is in place. I want to say that we will just urge the TCN to double up and double down on the maintenance, ensure that they complete it within, even before the projected time frame, so as to lessen the impact on the production and productive segment of the society. They've told us it's going to impact on cost of things.
Yes.
If Nigerians that are already reeling in the impact of the cost of food items, cost of transport, cost of, if they need to now add that to what is on the plate, this is a time that really calls for major concern. But of course, we also must touch on that and see that is a trying time for the country. Turnaround maintenance is a norm. That system must just go through it. Otherwise, and I think they said 330 kVA
yes.
system. Otherwise, it will just crash, and then we'll be back to zero. You know, so as much as possible, the organized private sector, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, must just assist the government in ensuring that this maintenance leaves the least impact on the people. Because if everything goes haywire, it's not going to only affect the economic sector, it's also going to bounce back on the political sector. And then we'll be back to zero. So we will not want to heat up the polity against ourselves. It's a structure, it's a system that must happen. A maintenance must just, is a routine as far as that sector is concerned. Maybe what we can say from here as Nigerians is that they do not need to get to the point where it will be absolutely necessary to shut down before they start the process of maintaining the thing. There must be structured maintenance of these things, and I believe that we need to get to that point where you don't need to shut down the whole place in order to maintain your facilities. That is where we need to get to, and I believe that we'll continue to engage ourselves as Nigerians. We cannot call even Ghanaians to come here, to come and do what we need to do to fix our country. This country must be fixed by Nigerians, and we have capable people to do it. All that we require is for the enabling environment to ensure that those who can do it get there. Thank you.
Right, just like you rightly said, the last things Nigeria or Nigerians want to hear is that they will be spending extra on what is already expensive. And a call to TCN, a call to the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, a call to the stakeholders when it comes to goods and services. Please, let's hasten up in all our maintenance policies so it doesn't choke Nigerians more than expected. Here is where we'll be drawing the curtain for today. Thank you, Mr. Aderibigbe, for joining the show.
Thank you very much, David. It's nice sharing this auspicious moment with you and also with our viewers from wherever you're watching. Again, this is Nigeria, where the impossible happens. This is a country where the people will continue to shock the world. Let's hang it there.
Definitely will shock the world. And from here, we hope we shocked you today with our program. Till we see you again, I remain David Bolarinwa. Bye-bye.